All right, shalom, shalom. I'm gonna start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone while learning the truth 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the Akwaf, which are the sisters that are sincere, and your children. Shalom. And in today's video is going to be going on a dream that I had last night, because the spirit, put it on me to make a video about it. But basically this is how the dream take place, or how it took place, I should say. I was asleep or whatever the case may be last night. And then I don't normally have dreams and things like that. But when I do have dreams, I know that they be from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because when the spirit is giving you a dream, man, or when it comes from the Lord. Because you're going to have specific events and specific things that are going to transpire in a dream that you're going to know that this is the Lord trying to show you something, whether it's a vision or, just something that's soon to come, right? So, I was asleep, and then, it fell upon me, and I started having a dream to where, I was sent off, I believe you should probably say, into like one of those prison camps. It could have been a FEMA camp, or it could have been something. I'm not sure what it was, but I just had a feeling that I was inside of a prison, man, And I know that the reason I was there, because like I said, it's finna come. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is about to come down with great wrath, man. And, he's about to definitely come against men of the Lord. So, the persecution is coming soon. So I basically had a Salakia basically had a vision to where I was incarcerated, man. And then the spirit allowed me to know that I was in there for no reason. It's almost like they could have possibly framed or put some stuff together. Like it says, let Satan get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices, going into his tricks, his schemes, his tactics, all of the things that it is he does. I don't know if it was AI, it could have been anything, but all I know is I was incarcerated for something that I didn't do. It's almost like they accused me of doing something, and they tried to make it as though I did something that I did not do, and I was incarcerated for it. So we know that these times are coming, man, because the Lord have told us that these things are going to happen in the last days, and I got a precept right here. This is Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, right? Because we know in these latter days, we're going to suffer some things, we're going to go through hell, especially those that believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, those that are following after the truth, man. We're going to be persecuted in these last days, man. And it says, behold, the devil, right? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, because that's what I got the feeling it was. I was being thrown into like a prison or something like that. Like I said, for no reason, though, the Lord allowed me to know that in a dream, that I was innocent, that I didn't do anything. Like I was just basically thrown in there. And trust me, in the spirit, I knew why I was thrown in there. It's because we're following after this truth, man, because we believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. That's why I was thrown into the prison, for my belief. And we know that those times are going to come as well. And I'm going to get a precept touching on that. But it says, shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, right? Because we know ultimately the trial is coming from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, right? Which just means a period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So that's what I got from being in the jail or the prison or whatever it could have been that I was housed at, that, I was in there illegally. I didn't do nothing. They were just ramping people up and throwing them inside of these prisons, man, or these jails. And you got DJT, who's the president now, doing all of those things now with him trying to reopen Alcatraz, making deals with El Salvador and Guantanamo Bay and all of these other private prisons. All of this stuff, like I said, is being set up to ultimately persecute the men of the Lord and ultimately to come down just amongst the Israelites, period, man. Even the 2/3 going to suffer too. But, they mainly coming after the believers, man, those that believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's what I kind of got the feeling of in the dream. So I'm going to go to another precept right here. Bear with me. I'm going to go to St. Matthew chapter 10. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 18. And it said, ye shall be brought before governors, right? Meaning government officials, people that are in power, martial law troops, whoever going to be in control of these FEMA camps, you never know. You might be brought before Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Right. And it said, and kings, right, for my sake, right, for the name of the Lord, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles, right? But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given to you in the same hour what ye shall speak, right? That's going to be the Holy Spirit speaking through us, man. We're not going to be speaking our own thoughts in that time. If this do happen to, we know it's going to happen to certain brothers and sisters, but if we're those ones that this is our lot, if we have to endure these things, we know that the Lord is going to speak through us through this Holy Spirit. It's not going to be us speaking in that day, right? So it says, for it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you, right? And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death, right? And it's the point, verse 22. And ye shall be hated, right, of all men, right? Meaning 2/3 of our people and these heathen nations, for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved, right? So it's like no matter what it is that we may go through, what our lots may be, some of us are going to be martyrs. Some of us are going to be put to death. Some of us are going to be thrown into some of these FEMA camps, man, soon to come, right? But the Lord said we got to endure that, no matter what it may be. And we know that ultimately all of these things are trials to test us, as I read early in Revelation 2:10, that ye may be tried, right? And who's the one that's trying us? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because as it tells you in Matthew 24:13, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. The elect are going to endure to the end through all of these fiery trials that are going to come in the near future, man, right? And I got this other precept. This is 1 Peter. And I'm going to start at chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and I'm going to move down. It says, for as much then as Hamashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, right? So that's telling us that, guess what? Just like the Lord has suffered for us, some of us brothers and sisters, well, all of us as believers, even the elect, a lot of us are going to suffer, man, in these times to come, right? And it says, for he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin. And that's why these people ultimately are going to come after us soon to come, man, and seek to, do all of these things into us, right? Because everything in this world that's considered good is evil in the eyes of the people. So they're going to look at us as true believers in Yahweh Shem Yahushua as people that are wicked. And that's because we have ceased from sin. We have ceased from the ways of walking in this world, committing, being wicked and things of that nature. We have departed from those things. So these people are going to deem us as the ones that are evil, man. Right? And it says, verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, man. And that's what we're doing to the best of our abilities. We're living after the ways of our ancient ways, like, living like the ways of our forefathers, walking in the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities, being set apart in this wicked world that we're in, man. Right? And I'm going to move down. This is 1 Peter 4 and 12. It says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you. Because ultimately, that's what all of this stuff is going to be when we get thrown into these prison camps, when we get persecuted, when the MOTB comes. All of these things are going to be trials of our faith to see what we're going to do. And like I said before, the elect is going to make it through all of the tests, man, all of the traps, all of the trials that are going to come our way. The elect is going to endure it, right? And it says, as though some strange things happened unto you, right? Verse 13, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy, right? Going into what I read in Revelation 2:10, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, man. That's what we ultimately want to receive through whatever it is that may come our way, what we may go through in the near future, whatever our lots may be. We trust in the Lord that his will is going to be done, man, and that he's going to shield us in these times, even if we do have to lose our lives or whatever the case may be. We know the Lord said, I'm going to go to this precept right here. Bear with me. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10. And I'm going to go to verse 13. Right? And I'm going to read it in KJV, right? It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, right? So the Lord will never put too much on us we can't bear, man. Even if that is our lot for us to be put to death or thrown into these FEMA camps or to be persecuted extremely, man. We're not supposed to be upset or get sad. The Lord said to actually rejoice, man, when these things come upon you. And I'm gonna go to a precept just further proving that after I read this, right? And it says, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation, right? Because we're coming into that temptation soon, man. It's going to be when the MOTB is made mandatory, man, which is called the hour of temptation, right? He said, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it, right? Which basically means to endure it, man, to go through it, to make it through it, if we be of that hopeful elect number, right? So I'm gonna go to this precept right here. Just basically touching on what I said before, like you should be rejoicing, if these things are happening to you, if you're being tried, you're going through fiery tests and things of that nature, you know that you're doing the right thing, man. Especially if people coming up against you, people slandering you, people hate you, all of these different things that we go through in our day-to-day lives, people looking at you funny and all of that. You should always be rejoicing, man, exceeding glad, right? This is St. Matthew chapter 5, verse 10. And it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, right? Because that's what we're going to be persecuted for, man. Righteousness' sake, for being set apart, for not being operating and living our lives the ways that the people of this world conduct themselves and live their lives. We're not operating in wickedness, So guess what? You should be blessed when you're persecuted for doing the right thing, right? For theirs is the kingdom of heaven, right? Verse 11, blessed are ye when men shall revile you. Right. And I'm going to look at that word revile just so we can get a better understanding of it. Right. Because a lot of us, we're being reviled now on a small scale, the men of the Lord, the prophets, when we go out on the highways and hedges and teach, when we make videos. But soon to come, it's going to get way worse. So like I said, everything is going to intensify, And that word revile goes into criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. Right. And when you go down to similar words, it means to criticize, to attack. Right. You got brothers being attacked. One of the brothers out there in LA was just attacked by a demon not too long ago. So, I mean, these are the things that these people are doing to us, man. Look, slander, right? We going through slander, people lying on us, bearing false witness, saying that we're doing things that we're not doing, calling us all type of different names. I mean, this is what we got to go through, man. But this is all part of the battle, man. Right? And it says, verse 11, and persecute you, right? And shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. And that's what Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is going to do soon. When he come down with this great wrath and come after the men of the Lord, the prophets, that's what he's going to be doing, man. And that's what I felt in the dream, that I was slandered or I was falsely accused of something. Basically they tried to make it seem as though I committed a crime that I did not do. And like I said, this devil has artificial intelligence and all type of different things to where he can make it look like you did something that you did not do, right? And it says, say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, right? This is verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, right? So we should be glad in these times right now. If you going through hell, you being persecuted, you going through, all type of afflictions and things of that nature, people reviling you, people hating you because you have changed your life for the better and you're trying to follow after the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You calling on the true names, you're not worshiping all of these pagan holidays and things of that nature, like people that maybe still doing. You're being set apart, man, and you're being hated for that. The Lord said you should be exceeding glad, man, right? For great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you, man. So that's what I got from the dream that I basically had, brothers and sisters. That I was being persecuted, man. And I know this thing is going to happen to a lot of brothers and sisters. It's not just me, but this just, I guess, a vision that the Lord was showing me at the times that we're soon to come into, that a lot of us are going to be getting persecuted, man. Like I'm talking about severely, man. I'm talking about things that people not even expecting is what's about to come, man. Like I said, I had to dream where, like I said, I felt like this man had made it seem as though that I did something that I did not do. I knew in my spirit that I did not do the things that they were accusing me of, but I just had to deal with it. Right. And I'm gonna go to a precept like right here. Right. Because we know why all of these things are happening at the end of the day. I'm gonna go to John chapter 15. Verse 18, and this is the reason why these things are going to happen to us, brothers and sisters. And it said, if the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you, right? So we know ultimately Lord Yahushua was hated first when he walked on the earth. He was perfect, a man with no sin, yet the people still hated him. Our people, 2/3 of them despised the Lord and these other heathens, man. They despised Lord Yahushua when he walked the earth, right? Verse 19, this is why they hate us as well, and why we're going to go through that persecution. It says, if ye were of the world will love his own, right? But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Right. So that's why we're going to be persecuted extremely in these times to come, man, because we're not of this world. We're in it, but we're not of it. Spiritually, I should say. We're in this place physically, but spiritually, our mind and our spirit is detached from this place. We're not bound in this place like these people are, man. And that's why ultimately they hate us and why they're going to seek to do harm and things of that nature to us, man. Right. And this is verse 20. It said, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sin, they will keep yours also. Right. So we know, like I said, we're not better than Lord Yahushua. So we're going to go through hell too. He went through hell when he was on his side, when he walked in the flesh. He endured a lot of hardships. He endured a lot of people coming up against him, trying to harm him, and do things unto him, lie, slander his character. He went through all of that when he walked the earth. So we not better than the Lord. So we gonna face these things as well. Right. And this is verse 21. It says, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, right? Because they know not him that sent me, right? That's going back into what I read in Matthew 10 and 22 earlier about ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, man. So we're going to be soon to come. They're already hating us, but like I said, it's going to continue to get worse and worse as time progresses, man. These people are going to continue to show their true colors for us, man. And like I said, that's going into these heathen nations and 2/3 of our people, man. These people are going to show that they despise us, man. And it's going to become more prevalent very soon, man. In the days we coming into, these people are going to, show their intense hate that they have for us, man. Especially Esau Edom, the so-called white man, And I'm going to go to this. This is St. Matthew chapter 24. And I'm going to read verse 9. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, right? And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, right? So we know ultimately, like I said, we're going to be afflicted, brothers and sisters, soon to come. A lot of us will be martyrs, as it tells you about in Revelation 20. Some of us will be beheaded for not taking that MOTBC up, for not bowing down to the system, and things of that nature. So this is what we got to prepare our minds and our spirit for. That's why the beloved Apostle Gabar always say this, know what you're involved in, man, counting the cost, because, this stuff is about to get very physical soon to come, man, So all of you people out there that's saying Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and y'all saying you a Hebrew Israelite and things of that nature, you got to prepare your spirit that soon to come, man, you could be snatched off the street, thrown into a prison, and people don't know where you're at. I mean, these are the times that we coming into, man. You already got these ICE agents, snatching up all different kinds of people and things like that, And this stuff is just the beginning, like I said, of the evils that are to come, right? As it says in Matthew 24 and 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So these is only the beginning of the evils that are to come upon this place. It's going to get way more sinister in the near future, man. Right? So, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Just something quick through the spirit. Lord's willing to be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that come across it. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom.